First of all, I just have to say, when you mentioned David Lean, that was that I could feel my heart swelling with pride. That was like the biggest compliment I can get. People were not familiar at all with this story, which is what really was part of what interested me. I had no idea that this guy, what he did and what happened to him. I thought it was such an interesting unknown story that was just lying there and waiting to come out and be told. So no, it was I've done films about more famous chapters of Danish history before, but this was a completely unknown person until, of course, that is the book and the film came out. I thought it was exciting to try and do, every filmmaker worth his salt or her salt is trying to evolve, right, in some way. And I think if you look at my career, a lot of my work has been slightly more black and white, in terms of like there's good and there's bad. There's the people who want to do good, people who want to do bad things. And what I really was attracted to this time around was to try to make a film about a man that I didn't necessarily like, from the get-go. It was somebody who had an ambition and a drive that wasn't immediately identifiable. Of course, you can identify with the fact that somebody wants power and money and all that. You can identify with that, but it's not necessarily a positive thing. It's like because he wants it, at all costs. He'll sacrifice everything to get it. And I thought that was such an interesting character to try to, have come alive on screen. And it was a new thing for me. So just in terms of the challenge of that was interesting. And then I also felt that knowing that I wanted to do this with Mads Mikkelsen was that I knew it was going to be a great role for him too. That it wasn't just either, the bad guy or the good guy. It was somewhere in between. And I think he relished playing that as well. I think I would cast him in every film, in every role, in every film. So that's an easy question. I think we had a lot of fun on our last film together, A Royal Affair. We became friends on that, and we had such an easy time of working together. We really had an understanding. And so basically for the past 10 years, we've been talking about getting back together, but haven't found the right project. And this was certainly it. And one of the things that I love about working with Mads is that he's not only a great actor. He's so talented. He's so incredible. But he's also a very sweet, nice guy to work with, very down to earth. He's a true partner in the sense that he will take responsibility for the story alongside you as a director. So he will really worry about the same things that you worry about as a director. He will go into the script and like really sort of help you and try to figure out what are we trying to say here? What's the story about at this point? And he will really help me shape the story and always remember like even some of the details. He would be great at sort of like keeping an eye out. So he's like a multi-tasking, multi-talented guy to have by your side. We are talking about doing something else together, but I liken the thing about coming home and doing something. I think I'll give you a metaphor. I actually haven't given this metaphor to anybody else, but I'll give you a metaphor that me and Mads are using at times, right? So if you imagine there's a little playground and we're playing in this playground and people are leaving us alone and we're having fun, right? And we're just building sandcastles and doing what we love and having fun doing it. That's working in Denmark. Now take that playground and put it into a corporate, like building corporation with 55 suits watching over you and telling you where to build the castle and how to build the castle and at what time to build the castle. It's not quite as fun anymore, The playground kind of like gets a little claustrophobic. So going back to Denmark is really freedom to have final cut, freedom to retain the vision that is yours. Nobody gets to interfere with the little play that you're doing, the game that you're playing. And I think that Mads and I both love that because then we can be our own critics. We can push each other to try to achieve what we want to achieve and not have a lot of other people whispering in our ears what they want us to do, right? the most important thing for me thematically was that you really have to be careful how much of your life you spend trying to obtain certain goals. Like if that's all you're about, obtaining certain goals, then you're not gonna win, you're not gonna sort of conquer what life is really about. And I think that's what I really want people to go out and think, he is so close to losing everything that's important just because he's so driven and ambitious and only is thinking about one thing. And I think that a lot of people can sort of recognize that. It's the classic lying on your deathbed, thinking about what was important in life, and then suddenly realizing, oh my God, I wasted so many years trying to achieve this or that, and it means nothing. What really means something is the love that I have for my children, or the love that I have for my wife or my husband. I think, some of these things, my parents, my family, I think that is something that felt poignant and true to me. And that's what I want people to think and feel when they come out. And Mads always says that one of the things he loves about playing Ludwig is that he is trying so hard to become part of something that he hates, right? Which is interesting. I can only share that we're developing this show called Monster Florence at Apple, and it has a great cast, great writers, and that we're working on it. That's really, I can't really say anything any more than that. But if people are familiar with the story, they can easily Google it. It's a true story, and it's an insane story. So yeah.